So you guys, the most incredible thing happened yesterday. I'm like, you're not even gonna believe it. I don't even believe it, but it really did happen. So one of you commented that a polydamas swallowtail that overwintered with you eclosed. I saw another person comment that a giant swallowtail eclosed, and I started thinking, oh my gosh, my overwinters are going to start eclosing. And then I thought, oh my gosh, the giant swallowtails aren't going to have anywhere to lay their eggs because look at my wild lime trees. Oh my goodness, I don't see any signs of growing back. That doesn't mean they won't. And y'all, I'll even say, like, I know I could go on AI and say, my wild lime trees were damaged in a freeze and they're all brown and crunchy. Will they come back? But I'm so afraid of it saying no. I don't want to know. You know what I mean? So all those beautiful babies that I have overwintering with me, when they eclose, will have no place to lay their eggs. And then I remembered my little wafer ash. Look how cute it is. So I moved it out here front and center right by my dead looking wild limes. And it's here. And then, oh my gosh, y'all aren't going to believe this. Okay, let's go. Let me go show you where I was. Now you guys know I tell you that I have Rue for the Eastern Black Swallowtails, and it's also host for giant swallowtails, but I've never seen giant swallowtails lay eggs on my Rue. I'm literally standing right up here by my little potted plants, and I see something in the corner of my eye, and there swooped down a giant swallowtail. It literally landed right here on my little Rue. Like I said, it's sticking out. It didn't lay an egg, and let me tell you, I scoured that looking for an egg. And then it flew off. That was all I got. But I was like, what are the odds of me thinking about, oh my gosh, I don't have a host plant for my giant swallowtails, and along comes one and lands on my Rue, right? What are the odds of that? But I'm still thinking about my wild limes because I gotta have wild limes. So I went on the Nectary, which is not the Nectary anymore. It is Plant Local. The owner of the Nectary sold it, Catherine, my friend, and it's all good. Like this is all positive, very good for all people involved. I am very down with this change. The new owner, oh my gosh, she is wonderful. She has such knowledge. So did Catherine, but I mean, there's nothing being lost in this change. And she's young and she's on fire and has all these great ideas. So I'm really excited for her. And I'm excited for Catherine because Catherine needed other time. She needed her time back. That's what she needed. All for good things. Okay. So I went on their website because you know how you can go on and order plants for pickup, which I love. They have wild limes. But then I thought, well, what if their wild limes are brown? So when you're on their shop website, there's a little button below that says text. So you can text them and ask some questions. So I texted Garnet. She's the new owner. I said, Garnet, are your wild limes green or are they brown like mine? She said, no, they're green. They look good. They took them inside for the cold weather. I was like, oh, thank goodness. So I ordered some of those. Then I texted her again. I said, does anything have flowers on it? And she named a couple of plants. And so I put those in my cart. I placed my order. And my husband's at the gym right now. And I didn't go to the gym because I'm still a little sick, you know, and I don't want to share. I cannot wait to get back to the gym. You know how it is, like when you are stuck and you can't go, and I don't know, is there something about working out and working your muscles, and it just gives you this uplifted feeling kind of, and when you don't, you just have that meh And plus being sick, it's like I'm ready to go to the gym, but not yet. I'm not sharing this junk. So anyway, he, after the gym, is going by the nectar to pick up my plant load. I'm sitting here by the gate watching for him to drive up like a little kid, waiting for, I don't know, something exciting to happen. I cannot wait to have my plants. I'm gonna put the wild limes over on the bench with the wafer ash, so we are set, because I need caterpillars in my life. Okay. Now, I have some other things to show you, and hopefully he'll get here and I can show you my plant haul from the Nectary new name Plant Local. Look how green everything looks right here. And there's some new flowers coming from Plant Local that are going to be in here, hopefully to feed pollinators and butterflies. But and then there's my dead scorpion's tail. I think I am going to go ahead and trim that back, because I think it'll come back, and if it doesn't, you know, I didn't even plant it there. It just came up on its own. That's what scorpion's tail does. So okay, but that's not what I want to show you. Back here, oh, look at my little okay, so first of all, I'm so off track. I just stepped on this. I try so hard when I trim wild lime to get all the cuttings, because when you step on them, it's painful. So anyway, I was just sharing that, my little crunchy pipe vine. I put these two little planters back here, and all these sticks, I don't even know what they are, honestly. They were random things. This planter's just been sitting in a corner, and it had all these things growing in it, including tropical sage. So I moved it here behind where my butterfly pea trellises are, and the little round one there too. And I scattered California giant zinnia seeds in them, because they get super tall, and they'll have the trellises in front if I need to kind of lean them on. And also they'll be back behind because they get kind of leggy looking. And so their flowers will come up over top of the new Mexican sunflower bed that's in progress right there. So that's one thing I did. So then while I was back in my work area moving out the wafer ash, I saw in the corner of my eye, because it's very easy to spot things that are green in the garden that's majority brown and crunchy right now, my climbing aster. And it's not blooming, but it's really pretty and green. So I moved it out on the bench with the wafer ash just to add some more green to my garden. And I love it there. Here it is. Look how pretty it is. I like how it does get a little variation on the leaves, and the stems have like a little purplish reddish hue to them. It is very interesting looking, and if I keep chopping it down, I keep trimming it, like when it'll get a little tall piece coming up, I'll chop it off to really shrub it out. And I like it here, so it's gonna stay. Remember my little plan to move things that were dormant to my work area, but this wasn't really dormant, it just isn't flowering, and it's a pretty plant, so it's back out. It's back out here, and there's the little wafer ash. I also have another climbing aster up here in this wetland pot, because it likes a wetland setting. That pot back there doesn't have drain holes in it, and I love how it's grown through this. Oh gosh, who are you? Who are you? It's a Florida native. I'll have to go look it up. But it's like all weaving through it, and I just think it's really cool looking like that. I do have some like little dead heads to trim off, But look how neat it is all in there. So I literally just stuck, it's still in this little pot, stuck the pot in there because I knew it wanted water and I knew there would be water in here. I just watered, that's why it's so full. We haven't had rain. Anyway, I really, really like this in here. I was going to move it back, but I think I'm just going to leave it and I'll just keep trimming it too. Look, there's more of it going out off that way. And there's seeds. Ooh, I don't need more climbing aster though. Or, yeah, that's what it is, climbing aster. And then this, now this guy, I don't know if this is going to come back. This is my southern fog fruit. So it likes water too, but it did not like the freeze. Where the climbing aster and this, oh gosh, what are you, an iris? It's not the walking iris, it's okay, we'll come back to that. And then there's an orangium in this pot also. If I would get my hand out of the way, you could see it. There it is. And this stem right here is a dormant button bush, and hopefully it's going to come back. I should probably just take this out. This whole pot will look better. I can put that back in my work area. See how I have this big open area now? I have a little potted orangium over here. Maybe I'll move it into here. It's right here. I don't know, this pot might be too big for that spot. Well, it did fit in there, but I actually think I'm going to take the plant out and just plant it in that spot. And then I can use this planter for some swamp milkweed or something. All right, it's in. Look at that. Fills in that little spot perfectly. I really like how this little planter looks. It's right here in my Florida native wildflower garden. And it's just a little bucket of green, which is lovely to see right now. Right behind it, I have this other wetland planter. And there's some orangium in here, but there's also some swamp milkweed that's growing in. There's some more swamp milkweed leaves. Asclepias, not swamp milkweed, aquatic milkweed. Asclepias perennis. I'm going to take this pot up front where my milkweed sample garden is so that I can put one of my swamp milkweeds in here. I have one pot up here that is probably a little too crowded, so I'll probably take a couple of them out. It's this pot right here. I'll probably take, oh, look what I did. I forgot to show you this. Okay. Y'all, I play with so many things. So this is one of those flat wire pieces that I've used in the past. In my enclosure, I used it a lot. And so I made a circle out of it and wove a dowel through it end to end to hold the ends closed. Because what's happening is these guys are going to get taller and they're going to run into the top of the cloche, which isn't that tall. So this is like an extender, and then I set the cloche on top of it. Let me back up so you can see the whole thing. Isn't that cute? And I can add more and make them taller and taller to keep my milkweed protected so nothing will eat it. And I know things have been out here because when I came out this morning, like these were all rummaged through. Some of them were knocked over. Some of them had like little holes dug out in them. And look, there's some seedlings starting to come up. These are Mexican sunflower seeds. So that's exciting to see. So my little nighttime snacker friends are out and about. They've been rummaging, but they're not getting my milkweed. Oh, and let me show you something else I made. So I had so much fun playing with this little round piece. I made another one, and I put it over one of my pipe vines, and I made a little top. Look at this. It's like I pick it up, drop caterpillars in, let it drop down. Small lizards can get through this, but birds can't, and the caterpillars can get out, but you know, it's something and it's fun. I love the little lift. If a butterfly were to pupate in there, like on the sides of the wire or something, and eclose, I can just lift it up to let it out. So I'll probably make more of those just to see how it works. But I thought that was fun. I did the same exact thing. This is, how did I make that one? Oh, this is one wire piece. So I just curled it around and I wove the dowel into it to hold it shut. And then the dowel also works as a stake. Isn't that cool? And this perfectly circumference wise, end to end, fits the 1 gallon pot. So that's fabulous. This one was 2, so I have a dowel at each end hooking 2 different wire pieces together, but there is a lot of overlap, so the circle could have been bigger, but I was adjusting it to fit in this. I could have made it a little bigger though. These are the wire pieces I'm talking about. It's just a big rectangle. They're very bendy. You can cut them, shape them. Like I cut that little piece out to be on the top. And I have these linked in my Amazon storefront. And I have used them for so many different things, gardening. Between these and my little shelving things, I mean, if you're like creative in the garden, you know, and you want to build things like this, look, I just used twisty ties to hook one side on, so it lifts up and down. Isn't that cute? I should make another one because there's another pipe vine back there, and it also gives something for the pipe vine to grow into. Anyway, that's just something I've been playing with. Also, while I'm up here, I did pot that pipe vine, Aristolochia macrophylla, and I did plant 2 seeds of my little seed pack I ordered for this plant, but I just did that yesterday, so nothing's happened yet. And then over here, there was a clump of goldenrod growing in. I dug it up and potted it. Goldenrods are very cool. There's a lot of Florida native goldenrods, and at one time I had, I think, one of just about every kind. I'm not sure if I still do because they seed and then they come up at different places. But they're very important nectar source in the fall for any migrating butterflies. Pollinators love them. Pollinators were all over my goldenrods when they were blooming. But I decided I like my goldenrods in pots, and last year they did fine blooming in pots because then I can move them around and put them where I want them when they're blooming because they do better in the background. And so if I have like a potted garden, I can strategically place them. So right now all my potted goldenrods are back in my work area. I got a little one here, and then this is in my button bush and salt bush planter, and then there, this is the one I dug up, and it's looking scrappy, but I think it's going to come back just fine. They like to look like they're suffering when you move them. Look at my poor wild lime. I'm so excited for my husband to get here with my plants. Okay. So anyway, I think that's fun having them back here. They can stay here because then they shoot up. I don't know if you remember last like this whole garden bed will be full of flowers, and then in the back having that goldenrod shooting up over it all. It was really cool. Oh, and something else I want to show you. Remember that giant Mexican sunflower? Well, I pulled it out and I've got the stem over here. I just want to show you why they can do so well in pots. And I have these ones here in pots because they have really shallow root systems. I tossed the stem. Look how long it is. I missed. Look, it's all leaning up on everything. But if you look here, look at the roots. Like, it's just this. That's it. Very small root clump. So Mexican sunflowers, you know, put them in pots. And that way you can move them around and trade them in and out, which is why I like having them in pots. I mean, it's easy enough to pull it out of the ground, but then it's harder to go back in and plant a new one because you've got other stuff growing around it. But if you have the safety of the edges of a pot, then, you know, you're good to go. And these are things I'm waiting to see if they're going to grow back. We're back in my work area. But I gathered some of my potted trees and put them along this walkway. And look, my red maple. Look at that. So fabulous. And then beside it, this is a wild black cherry tree. Nothing happening yet, but one of mine is. I'll show you that. This is a wafer ash that's dormant. This is my sassafras tree that's dormant, but look, we're getting green, and it's got these little buds on the end. And this is my sugarberry tree, and this, I don't know where I got this, y'all. I thought this was a winged sumac, but this is different. This is a fragrant sumac. And I mean, I don't know where I got this, but apparently it's also a host to the red-banded hair streak. But then some places say it's just ecologically important, but not a host. But the winged sumac is a host, so I'm going with that. It's a host to the red-banded hair streak too. I like that, and the Luna moth. So that's really cool. I love it. I don't have any recollection of where I got that. Maybe I was sleep plant shopping. So here's my winged sumac, red-banded hair streak, Luna moth. It's dormant right now. And it's back here in my row of goldenrods by my dead wild lime. See, here's my shade garden, and look at this little wild lime. Look at all of the green coming on it. Host to eastern tiger swallowtails. Love, love, love it. Oh my goodness, I love all that growth. And oh wow, look at my snowberry. Like, the longer you let it go, the more dead the dead looks, and you can really see the green alive down at the bottom to let you know it's okay. And it's probably safe for me to trim them back right now because, my gosh, our 10-day outlook, we're like in the 80s. Woohoo! So I can't foresee a hard freeze. I mean, it's possible we could get a cold blast with like a 30, 31. I doubt it, but we could. And look at my little rouge plants. I don't see any signs of them coming back, but you know, we're just gonna let everybody be back here. Let everybody be. And look at this, y'all. Is this a maiden fern? Because it's got flowers on it. So this is probably a weed. I don't even know. I had a little maiden fern. I thought it died. I planted it back here in the shade garden. But now I've got all of this coming up in here, and it's got flowers. Look. Are they not adorable? Is this a little maiden fern and it flowers, or is this some sort of weed? This can't be a weed because it's too pretty. I mean, look at those flowers. They're gorgeous. They're tiny, but they're gorgeous. I love this. If it is a weed, I'm keeping it. Unless it's invasive, but I don't know. I don't think so. I just heard the sound of a car approaching, and it sounded like it slowed down when it got to my house. Maybe my plants are here. It wasn't him, but I pulled my gorilla cart out. It's got like a bunch of muck in it. So I'm gonna kind of break it all out here. Anyway, so we're ready to haul the plants back. And this muck is lovely. This is like my Biden's Alba patch, and since it's all died back, like I'm tempted to pull it out and be more intentional with what I plant in here. I'm sure the Biden's Alba will just come back in and amongst anything. What do y'all think? What do you all think? So, you know how I changed my mind about having butterfly plants out here because I want my butterflies back there. There's my two little puppy friends. I do want to make this like a garden for the birds, and not only that, but I want to connect like some shrubs along the back so they can get all the way to the front yard safely. Small birds, squirrels, you know, to make more connections for them. And so I'm thinking about, look at the coral honeysuckle. It's gorgeous. Look at it growing all out here. It's absolutely stunning. And so I'm thinking about, if my silver buttonwoods make it, I'm gonna plant one like right there. See, there's one of my dead little wild limes right there, and then another one right here, and then there's another dead wild lime, hopefully not dead, with this in between. Wouldn't that be stunning with those silvery leaves and then the coral honeysuckle between it? So I just have to, I want to make sure that they're coming back. I don't want to plant them out here and have them not be alive, but I do love this out here. So if y'all know of any other good for birds but not butterflies plants, because I want my butterfly plants in my garden to put out here, I am taking suggestions. I prefer native, of course. And can't you just imagine this with little birds all hopping in and out with plants that have berries and seeds and provide cover? Okay, I got my wagon ready to go. I go back in to the garden. My husband just pulled in the driveway, so I'm going to grab the cart and go get my plants. Asked my husband how it felt going to the gym, because he's got the same sickness, only he's like 3 days ahead of me because he shared it with me. And he said like he could really feel it in his respiratory system. I was thinking about trying to go back tomorrow, but I think I'm just going to wait a little longer. So let's go see my plants. They're adorable. Okay, I have them all arranged for your viewing pleasure on my little wall. So starting with ageratum, seaside ageratum that's blooming. And this is another beach verbena, just because mine is doing so well. I wanted another one. This is my third one of these. I planted one in the ground and it died in the freeze. I have one still in a pot inside and it died in the freeze. So this is butterfly sage, bloodberry. Is beautiful. This one's staying in a pot and it will go in my house if there's another freeze, because I'm keeping this. I want to show the blooms to you. It's a really, really, really cool plant. So this is my third one I bought, and this one's going to stay alive. You are going to stay alive. Look at this little green eyes, a little flower. This is this is another beach verbena, and it's kind of laying over another little green eyes that, well, it's going to go to seed. So hopefully it'll be sending up some more blooms. And then here's another ageratum. Yay. And then I got 3 wild limes. They only have 1 3-gallon, so I got the 1 3-gallon, and then I got 2 of the 1 gallons. So I have greenery for giant swallowtails. Woohoo! So I'm gonna go in and rest for a minute, and I'm debating, maybe I'll put up a poll. I could probably get this video up tonight, or I could wait and just put it up on Monday. Weekend videos don't usually do well for me, so maybe I'll just wait till Monday, and then y'all let me know in the comments if you would have watched it, if I would have put it up on Saturday night, because today's Saturday. I don't even think I told y'all that. Normally Saturdays are running errand days. I don't really film, but because I'm sick, I'm just stuck at home, and so I'm filming. Look at all these little flowers. I'm just going to leave them all sit right here for now. And I'll come out and decide what I'm going to do with them later. But it's time to blow my nose and take a rest.